Hello, it's Galen from To Be Inspired. Got another new set, 49andMarket, and it's called Plume and Petal. Just got a little bit of this one. It just sort of struck me on some of the colours and the papers and stuff. So let's just go through and show you. It's actually by, I'm not sure the guy's name. Bruton, is it? Dennis Bruton? I can't see the name very well in the glare. So let's just look at the 12 by 12. So here you've got a whole big page. Plume and Petal, and it's 8 double-sided papers, one of each design. So I just got the 12 by 12. So I'll come back to these. I got the rub-on transfers, so we'll go through that. I know there's probably a little bit of glare on there, but we'll open them up in a minute. I got the washi sheets, so you get two in each pack. Look at that, that's beautiful washi there. So we'll come to that. And then I just got the ephemera, obviously, to go with the rest. So there's actually 61 pieces in that. And what attracted me in this one was the windows, the frames, you know, a bit of the tapes and the bingos and that sort of thing. So a few bit of extra bits. So we'll just go through the 12 by 12. I'll open it up because there's always that glare from the plastic. Sorry, I just want to sort of keep them in there. So yeah, I mean, if you're not a purple person, I think this one's not too bad purple. I feel like it's sort of that purpley Payne's grey type of feeling. So if you didn't like as much purple, you could change it up with a bit of the teal, blue colours, that sort of thing, or bring back the creams. So do like the look of it. On the other side, so you've got just a plain pattern here. You've got some words and things down there, so it's quite a pretty thing. If you didn't want to use this side here, you could cut out these pieces and reuse. I sometimes use those for different things, and obviously there's a strip here as well. So there's that one, so I'll go through it. So there's a that's the full page for this one. Not a lot on it, so that, you know, bits of purple. It's not overwhelming. That is purplish, so you know, those who don't like purple probably wouldn't use that side, but you could use a bit of both depending on what you're doing with this one. So yeah, but great for mini albums, great for your scrapbooking pages, great for cards. You know, you get a lot of different variety. If you cut this up into pieces for your cards, you'll get lots of different backgrounds in your cards. And then obviously if you didn't want to use one bit, you could use that side of it. So really nice. This one intrigues me because I do like doors, and doors are one of my things I really like, but just like the grunginess, but very light sort of pastel-y grunge. So you can build this up. You can build up your layers on this one, and on the other side, that's pretty. That's actually a nice, pretty paper. So it would be a hard decision for me to use, you know, which side to use, but I would probably in this one maybe just use this half for something, so I actually have the door, and then I could use this side for something. So yeah, yeah, just very different. And it's actually got, it's like the texture of the canvas or something there, so it's got a fair bit of texture onto the paper itself. Looks nice. Yeah, I really like this one. So they're a good starting point for backgrounds that you could use. Now this looks like a masquerade sort of one. I know Stamperiod do a masquerade collection that we have, which, you know, would actually match up with this, I believe. Wow. You know, I do like a bit of grungy sort of backgrounds, so yeah, that appeals to me. I really like that. But I also like this as a starting point, so you could get a bit of both in here. Yeah. well, this one's actually, I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually looks like a lady in a dress. So this is actually a lady, a model. There's a part of her head's there. And then the grunginess, and then obviously, well, I like that background. So I'm a bit of a sucker for backgrounds like this. I do like them. Yeah, and I could see me making this up and sewing the edges, and you know, some things that I look at doing when I see pages like this. I do like to sew some of these, or even do your fake stamping with stitches and make it look like each one's actually been stitched on. So that can look really, really nice in a page like this. But hey, that's, you know, just interesting. You build up your layers. I'll come to that. So it's very subtle sort of pages on the front and more bold on the other side. Yeah, hopefully I'm getting you all in frame. But you know, it's you know, this one, yeah, there's a bit to do on that to build it up, and that's looks like pattern pieces. So that's interesting one. And this one, that's quite pretty, running through there. Got the other one, and then this one's background. That's quite effective. It's actually a whole heap of outline of I'd have to say women's bodies, because they got that shape to them. But yeah, it's actually quite an interesting page, that one. And then you've got one. So this one, sure, you can just you can have images going across here, a focal point in here. You can actually cut this out. So you know, that could be another thing to add more. So this becomes a frame. And on the other side, very busy but interesting. So matching up the busyness with, you know, something that's very, let's just look at this one for example. You can see the matching in there. So to me, that I would, you know, could make some pieces here to match into this to bring it all in. Yeah, it's very different. I thought, well, just buy a little bit of it and see. Well, I like it. I'm going to do something with it. Just need to find time. But these are nice little just cards that you can make. So potentially on the back, well, that's pretty on the back too. They're nice bold images on the back of them, so it's up to you. But you could, with this one, for example, cut this along here, fold them to make like a accordion type little book, and you could put these together and that could be a whole book. Or you just make these a card front. You could even cut these down to put on ATCs and start doing that. Lots of different things for these. So or just, you know, you could tear these for that rugged edge type thing and then pop them onto anything you like, really. I'd make them, probably put them in a little book again. So that way, you know, you sort of can start your book, and then you can use the other sides if you know, you weren't keen on, there wasn't much on one, for example, not that much on this one. So the other side could be a starting point. I'd still cut it all out. So that's very interesting. So that's your 12 by 12 papers. So that so that's that whole release there. And then you have so we might just go to the washi. So this is the washi. Take it out of the paper, plastic I should say. It's very challenging sometimes to get it all out. I really just wanted to show you what some of these were. So I'll just move that one out of the way now. So look at that. Wow. And you've got a few little things down here as well. You know, your little dragonflies and stuff that you can just cut and just add them straight to your page. But you could do a lot of different things with this. It's quite pretty. So that's that. Obviously you can still use this card. It's got actually pattern on it, so you chop that up, don't throw it out, chop it up and use it in your albums as a card. You could use that as a card base, it's quite sturdy, things like that. Do die cut. And this is the other sheet. So the other sheet has, this is quite nice here. Yeah, trim that up and you just use that with your pages, print up your pages. Wow, actually the combination in colours in this is quite pretty in my view. But you know, obviously it's not for everybody, but I like it, so I bought it, and I can. Yep. So that's that one. And then I got the rub-ons now. You know, 49andMarket rub-ons. They are really, really good. And I couldn't resist these ones. They just look, the front page here just look really, really nice. So you don't even have to use a collection. You could use this with anything else. So we have lots of feathers. So there will be a bit of a glare because it's on plastic, you know, so these rub-ons. We've got a few words. Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, nice. They're actually nice words. And then the feathers, and obviously little bits and pieces as well. So that's actually, can't wait to use them. Oh, I like this one. This might be my favourite. Do like that. That is really, really nice. And the colours in that, like the books, just the actual, that would break up some of you got little things like thank you, call again. That's interesting, on little bits and pieces in there as well. I could look at that all day actually, and it's very intriguing. Yeah, so hopefully I'm doing that justice in the video, but that's it there. Yeah, that's a really nice one. That's one of my favorites, and this is really good too. I always like this sort of stuff. So building up this into it, so I might even do a canvas background and actually add these on to my background. These will look wonderful. I actually like that pattern. Yeah, how nice are they? So 3 sheets in this rub-on collection, so that's really nice. I've only got a few of these, so what's there? I think once it's gone, that'll be it, because there weren't too many I could get hold of. So, you know, obviously I have a set for myself, girls, because I have to. And I like to, yeah, I want to go and play with them. So, look, this is the ephemera and frames pack. Now, wow, this one probably caught my eye the most, because I went, oh, I like ephemera. I really do, just like it with ATC cards and all sorts of stuff. So I use a bit of ephemera here and there. So let's just have a look at this. I'll just take this off for a minute. This is interesting. So you get ephemera frames, but you can see that you actually get to cut out from this piece, a better card, to actually cut out and do something with this. So you can actually use them as part of your, because it's quite thick, cut this out. Then you can use these embellishments as well on your page. Now, just letting you know, if you've got a Cricut or a Silhouette or one of those machines, you'll be able to cut this out automatically because it's got the lines around it. Okay, so your machine should pick that up and should be able to cut it out. If you don't like the white line around there, which is me, I don't really like too much of that, then I would fussy cut that off. So I don't mind. Some of these ones are okay to fussy cut, some are a little bit it was when it's yeah, a bit fiddly, then that's where I start cutting things off. But that's me, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, so this is anyway, don't get too excited, that's just packaging. Let's have a look here. So we've got some bigger pieces at the back here. So we've got these ones, which are bigger. There are actually quite a number of those. So you could even fold these. These look like you could even fold them in half and make a little booklet out of them, or just stick them on your. We've been doing a lot of those mini albums, smaller ones that I've made before, and these would go onto the pages easily. And it just, you know, it's one of those things where you don't know what you want to do, and you don't want, you know, you lost your mojo or something. Then these are sorts of things that you might think about getting and just starting somewhere, because look, there's a frame, lots of pop-out pieces on this. So for example, that piece there, that's part of your frame. That's actually a pretty frame. So, you know, you can build up things. That could be the front of your book with the frame on it, and add your embellishments coming out of the frame. So there's another one. So that piece there went into there. Try not to lose it too much, but anyway, won't matter too much. Wow, this is a big door. So these bits are going to all pop out, so you'll be able to see through the door. That's actually quite pretty. This is a good thickness that you can put in your art journal books. So if you wanted to put a door in there and you wanted to do some fancy things with your rub-ons and your washi, and maybe some of that the paper that can be built around here, that's a good size to go in your, say, your A4 art journal book, because it's not real thick. And you could even cut this out, or you can cut it up there to make it look like it would open the doors. So there's lots of different things you can do with those. There's some pop-out tapes. So they're interesting. All these frames. Look at that frame, beautiful. You might go up that way. I love frames. So I like framing stuff, or using it as a focal point for example, if you've got yeah, and you're not sure about this sort of thing, is that you put a frame on something, and then you get your little people that you can actually position them onto the frames. So these are good little things to do that for. Again, there's I think it's a door, isn't it? I've got it up the wrong way. I think it goes that way. It's a door. Old door. So all these bits pop out. So you've got lots and lots of frames in them. Now this collection does have a bit of gold trim in some of them. There's lots of labels there you can use. Tags. There's a few tags in the collection. You know, it's got gold. Postcards. Love the tickets. Yeah, it's a few more. These are sorts of things you can use and pop in your albums. You know, use for anything. So I do like a good ephemera range that goes with collections. And you always, when you're making something like that, you always have a lot of this. This pack would last you a while. So you would probably be using it with other things as well, not just with this collection. So have a think about that. There's lots of little, they're the pieces out of the door, actual door piece. So that's quite pretty. There's actually a lot in there. I'll make sure we get all the pieces. So that's 69 pieces. And that's not counting those bits there that you're cutting out as well. That's just the pieces here. So you actually get a little bit more. Alright, that's that one. Put that over there actually. And then I've been through it all. I think that might have been it. Yeah, that's it. So I've only got the rub-ons, the washi, the 12x12, and the ephemera. That's all I was able to get hold of for this one. I thought if there was any 6x8 I'd try and get it, but at this stage there wasn't any. So yeah, so let me know what you think. Certainly the papers, you know, and the ephemera go together, and there's lots of ideas. Yeah, I can see, you know, bringing out that page. But it's, you know, it's sometimes you just got to look at things a bit until you actually see the papers. You don't know So that one's going to be intriguing. Yeah. So anyway, this is in the store already. I only got a couple of each of these particular ones, so so you can get it at www.tobeinspired.com.au, on Facebook, Instagram, etc. as well. So the video will go up on YouTube, and be in one of our community groups as well. So you know, if you're looking for this pack and want to get it, I've only got a couple of each, so first in first serve, that's it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Lots and lots of things to do with it, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye.